For today's video, we're not going to just find the tax tip or markup amount. We're going to find the new total amount, including the tax tip or the markup. Quick review up at the top. I have the proportion set up for finding the percent of a number, or the equation set up for finding the percent of a number. Now you decide which one you prefer to use, but for today I'm just going to stick with the equation setup because that's how you're more than likely going to see it in your future, whether it's in class or outside in the real world. Now we need to remember, if we're using the equation setup, when we're calculating with the percent, it needs to be in decimal form. Now to make your percent into a decimal, remember we move our decimal 2 places to the left. Example number 1. A graphing calculator costs $90 and the sales tax is 8%. This is the same problem as yesterday, except the question itself is different because now it says, what is the total cost including the tax? So we want to actually go all the way on this problem. Part A, what is the amount of tax for this calculator? So as we did yesterday, and if we use the equation setup, it's the percent in decimal form, so that would be 0.08 times the original of $90. And when we did this yesterday, we got $7.20. That was your tax amount. Now, will you add or subtract with the original? Tax is the additional money that's added onto your total, so we're going to add. For the new part today, what is the total cost including tax? Well, we're going to need to add our $7.20 to the $90. But if you're doing this by hand, you need to make sure you line up your decimals to add correctly. If you notice, I added a decimal after the 90 and put on 2 zeros so I can line up my decimals for the addition. Now when I add, I end up with $97.20. That's going to be my total cost including the tax. Number 2, Kristen and her parents went out to dinner. Their bill for dinner came out to be $45. If they leave a 15% tip, how much is the total bill including the tip this time? So on this question, it's going to be the total bill including the tip. So same problem as the other video, except now we want the total that they're going to pay. Starting off with the tip amount, that's going to be the percent of 15. So move your decimal 2 places to the left. That would give you 0.15 times the original amount of 45. And when you calculate that, we got $6.75 was the tip they were going to leave. Now remember, the tip is the extra money that you leave to the server, so that means we're going to add and take the $6.75 and the $45, lining up your decimals. So for part C of how much is the total bill including the tip, if we add up our bill amount plus the tip that they're going to leave, they're going to end up paying $51.75 for their meal including the tip. Last example, number 3. Footblock just received a shipment of sneakers. They paid $48 for each pair of sneakers, but they sell them at a markup of 25%. How much does Footblock sell the sneakers for after the markup? Well, if we take a look, this one, we want to know how much they sell after the markup of 25%, and they paid $48. So part A, how much is the markup amount? Well, I'm going to take my percent, which is 25%, change it to a decimal, moving my decimal 2 places to the left, and getting 0.25. So 0.25 times the original $48, and when we calculate that, we got $12. That was the markup amount. Now, if they're marking it up, that means they're charging you more, therefore you're going to add to the $48. So taking the $48, this time since there's no decimal values, I don't need to line up decimal, but I can if I want to. Adding this up, I got a total amount including the markup of $60. So they buy the sneakers for $48, but then they put them on the shelf and sell them to you for $60. Now, what we did here in this video was we found the amount of tax, tip, or the markup by multiplying the percent times the original amount. Then we went ahead and added that amount of tax, tip, or markup to the original amount in the problem. That's what you'll be doing on today's assignment. Let me know if you have any questions.